My precious child, I see how the weight of life has dimmed your smile, how circumstances have stolen your laughter, how trials have drained the joy from your spirit. Today, I want to speak directly to that wounded place in your heart, where joy once lived freely. Let me restore what has been taken from you. I understand why joy feels distant now. I've watched as disappointments piled up, as dreams seemed to slip away, as the burdens became heavier than you could bear. I've seen how you've tried to hold on to happiness, only to feel it slip through your fingers like sand. But listen closely to my promise. Your season of joy is not over. Remember the sound of your own laughter. Remember how it used to bubble up from deep within, uncontrolled and pure. Remember the lightness in your spirit, the brightness in your eyes, the spring in your step. That joy wasn't just a feeling. It was a gift from me. And what I've given once, I can give again. The enemy wants you to believe that joy is lost forever, that your best days are behind you, that darkness has permanently overshadowed your light. But he's forgotten who I am, the God who turns mourning into dancing, who brings beauty from ashes, who restores everything the locusts have eaten. I see how you've tried to manufacture happiness, to put on a brave face, to convince yourself and others that you're fine. But I'm not interested in superficial smiles or forced laughter. I want to restore genuine joy, the kind that flows from deep within, the kind that sustains even in storms, the kind that only I can give. Your joy hasn't been destroyed. It's been buried under layers of hurt, disappointment, and weariness. Like a seed beneath winter soil, it's still there, waiting for the right season to spring forth again. And I am the God of all seasons, the one who brings spring after winter, dawn after darkness. Don't believe the lie that you're too broken for joy, too wounded for laughter, too damaged for delight. I am the God who specializes in restoration. The same power that raised Christ from the dead can resurrect joy in your heart. The same love that formed the universe can reform your smile. I see the moments when you catch yourself almost feeling happy, only to pull back, afraid to hope, afraid to believe, afraid to be disappointed again. But joy isn't just an emotion to be feared. It's a strength to be embraced. Your joy is not just a feeling. It's a weapon against darkness. The joy I want to restore in you isn't dependent on circumstances. It's not tied to conditions. It's not limited by situations. It's my joy. The kind that sustained Jesus through the cross. The kind that filled Paul in prison. The kind that cannot be shaken by earthly storms. Let me reach into those wounded places where joy used to dwell. Let me heal the hurts that have silenced your laughter. Let me restore the delight that circumstances have stolen. For I am not just the God of salvation. I am the God of restoration. Your capacity for joy hasn't been diminished. It's been dormant, like a musical instrument that needs tuning. Your heart hasn't lost its ability to sing. It just needs my gentle touch to restore its melody. Let me tune your heart back to the frequency of heaven's joy. I see how the world's darkness has tried to extinguish your light, how life's hardships have attempted to crush your spirit, how pain has endeavored to silence your song. But they don't have the final say. I do. And I say, it's time for joy to return. The joy I'm speaking of isn't just happiness that comes and goes with circumstances. It's not mere pleasure that depends on external factors. It's divine joy, the kind that springs from knowing who you are in me, the kind that flows from understanding my love for you, the kind that bubbles up from the well of salvation within you. Don't measure your future joy by your present pain. Don't limit tomorrow's possibilities by today's struggles. Don't let temporary circumstances convince you that permanent sadness is your portion. I am about to do something new in your life, something that will make joy flow again. As you reflect on this truth, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to join our community of faith and inspiration. Your tears have not gone unnoticed. Each one has been collected in my bottle. Each sigh has been heard by my heart. Each moment of sadness has moved me to action. But now, I'm about to turn your weeping into laughter, your mourning into dancing, your heaviness into praise. The joy I'm restoring isn't just a temporary lift of spirits. It's a fundamental transformation of your inner landscape. Like a gardener preparing soil for new growth, I'm working beneath the surface of your pain, creating fertile ground for joy to flourish once again. I understand why you've protected yourself against joy, why you've guarded your heart against hope, why you've armored yourself against expectation. But those walls that seem to be protecting you are actually imprisoning you. Let me tear them down, stone by stone, fear by fear. The joy I'm restoring isn't just about making you feel better. It's about making you whole again. It's about reconnecting you with the person I created you to be. It's about rekindling the light I placed within you from the beginning. Don't let past disappointments dictate your future expectations. Don't let previous hurts determine your coming happiness. Don't let old wounds define your new season. I am doing something new. Can you not perceive it? I am making streams in your desert, paths in your wilderness. Your joy was not stolen. It was merely buried under the rubble of life's battles. Like treasure hidden in a field, it's still there, waiting to be uncovered. And I am the master treasure hunter, the God who finds what was lost, the Lord who restores what was taken. I see how you've tried to find substitutes for joy, temporary pleasures, momentary distractions, fleeting happiness. But nothing can replace the deep, abiding joy that comes from me. It's time to stop settling for less. It's time to receive the fullness of what I have for you. The joy I'm awakening in you will be different from before. Deeper, richer, more resilient. Like gold refined by fire. It will be more precious because of what it has overcome. This joy won't be naive or untested. It will be seasoned with wisdom, strengthened by trials, anchored in truth. I see how you've started to believe that serious faith means serious faces, that spiritual maturity means solemn spirits. But remember, I am the God who fills mouths with laughter and tongues with singing. My Son was called a friend of sinners, one who came eating and drinking, bringing life to every gathering. Your laughter is not frivolous to me. Your happiness is not trivial in my sight. Your delight is not insignificant to my purposes. Joy is not just an emotion. It's a spiritual force. It's not just a feeling. It's a weapon. It's not just a mood. No, it's a testimony of my goodness. Let me restore the simple pleasures you've forgotten. The ability to delight in a sunrise, to laugh at life's little moments, to feel wonder at my creation. These aren't distractions from spiritual life. They're expressions of it. They're not escapes from reality. They're glimpses of my kingdom. I'm not just restoring your joy. I'm upgrading it. This new joy will be less dependent on circumstances, more rooted in my presence, more connected to my purpose. It won't be the fragile happiness of before, but a robust, resilient joy that can weather any storm. Don't be surprised when you find yourself smiling for no apparent reason, when laughter bubbles up unexpectedly, when hope starts painting colors back into your gray world. These are not coincidences. They're signs of my restoration at work, evidence of my joy breaking through. The enemy wanted you to believe that choosing joy means denying pain, that laughter means forgetting losses, that delight means dismissing difficulties. But true joy, my joy, can coexist with tears, can flourish in trials, can shine in shadows. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about seeing beyond it to my greater truth. I see how carefully you've guarded your heart, how cautiously you approach anything that might bring joy, how strategically you manage your expectations. But joy isn't meant to be rationed. It's meant to be released. It's not meant to be controlled. It's meant to be celebrated. Let me reintroduce you to laughter, not the hollow kind that masks pain, but the genuine kind that springs from a heart at rest in my love. Let me remind you of delight, not the superficial kind that depends on circumstances, but the deep kind that flows from knowing whose you are. Your capacity for joy is actually greater now, not lesser. Like a valley carved deeper by rivers of tears, you can hold more of my joy than ever before. Your struggles haven't diminished your ability to rejoice. They've expanded it. I'm restoring your joy not just for your sake, but for others too. Your renewed laughter will be contagious. Your rekindled delight will be infectious. Your restored joy will be a testimony that draws others to me. Your story of restoration will become someone else's hope of possibility. Watch how I begin to surprise you with joy in the most unexpected places, in the midst of ordinary moments, in the middle of challenging situations, in the heart of difficult seasons. For I am not bound by circumstances in how I restore, not limited by conditions in how I heal. The joy I'm awakening in you now will be like a well springing up from within, not dependent on external sources, not reliant on perfect conditions, not subject to situational changes. It will be my joy, flowing from my spirit, sustained by my presence. This restored joy will become your strength in ways you've never experienced before. It will be a shield against darkness, a light in shadows, an anchor in storms. When the enemy comes with his familiar weapons of despair and heaviness, your joy will rise up as a standard against him. I'm not just restoring what was lost. I'm establishing something new. This joy will have deeper roots, stronger foundations, higher reaches. It will be a joy that can laugh at the days to come, not because life will be perfect, but because you'll be so secure in my perfect love. Watch how this restoration begins to transform every area of your life. Joy will color how you see the world, flavor how you speak, influence how you live. It will change not just your emotions, but your perspective, your relationships, your very approach to life. Remember my promise. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Not just a nice saying, but a powerful truth. This joy I'm restoring will strengthen you to stand, empower you to continue, enable you to overcome. It's not just an emotion, it's spiritual ammunition. I see how the world has tried to convince you that joy is dependent on circumstances, that happiness requires perfect conditions, that delight demands ideal situations. But my joy transcends all these. It flows from who I am, not from what is happening around you. Let me show you how to rejoice again, not with forced smiles or fake laughter, but with genuine delight in who I am and who you are in me. Let me teach you how to celebrate life again, not because everything is perfect, but because I am perfectly faithful. This restored joy will become a testimony that silences the enemy's lies. Every laugh will declare my faithfulness. Every smile will proclaim my goodness. Every moment of delight will announce my restoration power. Your joy will become a weapon in spiritual warfare. Don't be surprised when you find yourself praising in problems, rejoicing in rain, dancing in difficulties. This new joy isn't dependent on perfect conditions. It thrives in all conditions because it's rooted in my unchanging nature, not in changing circumstances. I'm restoring your ability to see beauty in simple things, to find delight in ordinary moments, to discover joy in unexpected places. Your eyes are being opened again to the wonder of life, the miracle of each day, the gift of every breath. This joy I'm restoring will be contagious. Others will be drawn to its authenticity, attracted to its depth, inspired by its resilience. Your restoration will become an invitation for others to believe in possibility, to hope for healing, to expect their own renewal. Let my joy become your default response, not because you deny difficulties, but because you know who I am in the midst of them. Let it be your first reaction, not because you ignore problems, but because you know who holds the solutions. Watch how this restored joy begins to affect your prayers, influence your worship, transform your service. It will add wings to your petitions, life to your praise, energy to your ministry. Joy isn't just the result of spiritual life, it's fuel for it. The enemy thought he could permanently steal your joy, but he didn't understand that my joy in you is eternal. My delight in you is unchangeable. My pleasure in you is unshakable. No weapon formed against your joy will ultimately prosper. As this restoration continues, you'll find yourself laughing more freely, hoping more easily, believing more naturally. Not because life has become perfect, but because you've discovered the perfect joy that comes from knowing me, trusting me, resting in me. Remember, this joy I'm restoring isn't just for special occasions or perfect moments. It's for every day, every situation, every season. It's not just a destination. It's a companion for the journey. It's not just a future promise. It's a present reality. So open your heart to joy again, beloved. Let down the walls of protection. Release the fears of disappointment. Surrender the control of expectations. For I am doing what only I can do, restoring, renewing, rebuilding your joy. Your season of joyless existence is ending. Your time of heaviness is closing. Your period of mourning is finishing. For I am the God who restores joy, who renews laughter, who rekindles delight. And I am not finished with you yet. Let my joy arise in you like the dawn, steadily, surely, unstoppably. Let it fill you like the tide, gradually, completely, inevitably. Let it transform you like spring transforms winter, naturally, beautifully, gloriously. For I am the Lord your God, and my joy in you is perfect, permanent, and powerful. Receive it now. Embrace it fully. Live in it freely. Your restoration is here.